You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey Days fans, Belinda from Soap Dirt here, and I can say I'm totally delighted to be getting all these scenes with Stacy Haiduk as Kristen DiMera lately, but I am kind of over her desperately chasing a man who will never love her, Brady Black, of course. And as for her and Alex Kiriakis, while I don't like him with Gwenarisa, I'm not feeling him and Kristen. I'm really not. I think there's another guy in Salem that she should get with instead. Someone who's as bad as she is, maybe. And it could be a whole lot of fun. Let's dive in and talk about it. But first, please click subscribe if you have not. So, for all of her insanity, and there's plenty of it to go around, Kristen DiMera is not a big bed hopper like some of the ladies in Salem, although marrying your adoptive brother is kind of the very definition of icky love life choices, If you recall, way back in the day when Eileen Davidson was in the role, Kristen was married to Andre, who was pretending to be Tony DiMera. And then there was that whole awful thing where she raped Eric Brady. And Kristen was also head over heels for John Black at one point way back then. But in recent years, her romantic obsession of choice has consistently been Brady Black. The problem is Brady wants nothing to do with her. And Kristen has weaponized Brady's love of their daughter, Rachel, to both lure him closer and to punish him. And remember, the only reason Brady knocked Kristen up at all was because she was in that Nicole Walker mask and he was totally fooled. I don't know how you confuse one woman's body for the other one to that extent. Seems weird. Anyway, in my opinion, I think Brady Black sees Kristen DiMera in the same light as he does his past drug addiction. It's something he struggled to resist, he fell into, and once he got it out of his system, he never wanted to indulge again. And he might have steered clear of Kristen entirely, except for her and her mask trickery. So not only does Brady have to fend off baby mama Kristen right now, but also his other baby mama, Teresa Donovan, is still hot for him, even though she's chasing the gold digger thing with Alex. I just a side note, I'm really struggling to attune my ears to that accent that British actress Emily O'Brien has adopted for Teresa. It's kind of whiny and grating, and it has a very strange cadence. I think British actors, for some reason, seem to do Southern accents really well, better than a lot of American actors who aren't from the South. But when it comes to other regional accents, I feel like they struggle for some reason. Like, for instance, another Brit I adore is Idris Elba. When he was on The Wire, which is a great HBO series if you've not seen it, he played this guy, Stringer Bell, a drug dealer, and his accent was really good. The show is set in Maryland, and he sounds perfect, except he couldn't shake his UK pronunciation of the word with. He said wit. That's the standard British intonation of the word, but I found it very distracting. And once I pointed it out to my husband, who was watching The Wire with me, he couldn't unhear it, and he was really annoyed with me. So it's like, go with me to the car. A British person doing an American accent, not well, would go with me to the car. So it was just really weird. And that's where I'm at with this tone that Emily O'Brien has chosen to play Teresa with, grating. I'm not sure if she's trying to do an impression of Jen Lilly, but it has fallen short. But on the plus side, the wigs, I think, are getting a little better. So I saw a recent poll on Soap social media asking which couple fans are most interested in seeing. And there were 4 choices: Brady with Teresa, Alex with Teresa, Brady with Kristen, or Alex with Kristen. And a third of the people chose, wait for it, drum roll, Kristen and Alex. It wasn't a particularly large poll, but it caught my eye. And in defense of this pairing, I would watch Rob Scott Wilson as shirtless Alex Kiriakis dry humping a lamppost in Salem Town Square and be utterly enthralled. Just saying, he's gorgeous. He has chemistry with everybody. But that's not who I think Kristen should be with. He is a playboy, himbo, but he's not a devious or a bad guy. He's just hot, spoiled, and entitled and has a thing for threesomes. As for Kristen and Brady, he wants her as much as he wants chlamydia. So that seems like a fool's game she's playing, trying to win him back. Also, Brady's not an evil guy. He's hot also, and he can be erratic and petty and vengeful, but he's not a bad guy. I think what Kristen DiMera needs is a very bad man, someone that won't judge her because he's also a devious schemer. And there happens to be someone like that in Salem right now, and he's not dating anyone. Of course, his alter ego is in love and dating someone, but that guy's not even a real person, so I don't think he counts. Have you figured out who I'm talking about? Yes, I'm talking about Bobby Stein, not Everett Lynch, his alter ego. Everett seems like a nice enough guy in spite of the traumatic brain injury and the really bad core personality. But remember all the bad stuff that Jada Hunter said about Bobby. He's a real creep, a serial cheater, a liar. Who knows what else he's been up to? His brain is broken, and you got to admit, Kristen's kind of broken too. And surely Stephanie Johnson isn't going to stick with that guy, right? I mean, we'll see how it goes, but we're soon going to find out more about Bobby Stein because next week, the week of April 1st through 5th, Marlena Evans hypnotizes Everett to try and draw out Bobby, his real personality. Remember, Everett is actually the alter. He just happens to be the one controlling the body right now. So once Doc lures Bobby out of Everett's subconscious or wherever he's hiding, I think it's going to change everything. And if Marlena's hypnosis puts bad Bobby back in the driver's seat and shoves nice guy Everett back into a cubbyhole, I think all bets are off. And if they're going to make Bobby out to be more of a bad dude like Blake Barris's past character Nick Fallon, that could be super interesting. And it could also possibly make Bobby a better match for crazy, lonely, crafty Kristen DiMera than either Brady or Alex. Just real quick, if you're curious in terms of ages of all these people. So Stacy Haiduk, who currently plays Kristen, is 55. Role originator Eileen Davidson is 64. So they did a reverse Saurus of nearly a decade when they recast from Davidson to Haiduk. Eric Martsolf, who plays Brady, is very close in age to Stacy Haiduk. He's 52 to her 55. The guy that Kristen was just making out with, Alex Kiriakis, is played by 36-year-old Rob Scott Wilson. And finally, Blake Barris, who plays Bob Everett, is 39. So yeah, there is an age gap between Kristen and Bob Everett, but not enough to be a deal breaker. I don't think so. Let me know who you would like to see Kristen DiMera hooking up with. Drop it in the comments, and please subscribe if you have not. And definitely come back soon. We're here talking days all week long, every day on the #1 most followed soap opera spoilers channel on YouTube. And this is Belinda from Soap Dirt. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.